Hi friends, welcome to our reading today in the Zen Den. I hope you're doing fantastic today. We are going to be looking at cards from the Thoth Tarot and the Ascended Master Oracle. So first I just want to mention that in the astrology we have the sun in Taurus and the moon is in Leo. And this is a wonderful, creative, productive combination for shining that light through our heart center and lighting up the things in our life that we want to nourish and create more of and to birth more of in our lives, and to fill in those spaces and those gaps where maybe there isn't that foundation and that strength. So bringing forth the energy of those signs and through us, through our own unique essence. And just really, I'm seeing like almost like a fertilizer, like covering our ground, our foundation with that nourishing love and that nourishing light of the good feelings of what we desire and what we're passionate about, and how we want to blossom in life. This is a very fertile time for that. So using this combination of Taurus and Leo in a positive way, instead of a way that maybe where there may be conflict. Instead, bring peace, bring harmony, take some space for yourself. Put your left hand over your heart, drop down into your heart center, call in your higher presence, and really ask for that alignment and clarity of what's the best way to move forward in certain situations, so that we can all be bringing forth that best life force and energy forward into this time. And remember, the moon is waxing and we're growing into that full moon eclipse in Scorpio. So yes, let's be blossoming and growing the things that we want to grace in our life, and that we want to be in like the highest alignment with our divine pathway. And remember, we are creator beings in physical bodies, and what we create always comes back to us. So, in one form or another, and in one time or another, we may not always see it, but so it's like a reminder, at least in my mind and my consciousness, to always be creating those things that we do want to have come back. Let's not create things that we don't want to experience in our life. And Taurus is such an amazing time for that creation, that blossoming, that fruition. Everything's being like those fruits are being like nourished, and everything's growing in such magical power right now, whether we see it or not. So keep that in mind. All right, and the first card that we got, let's see, we're gonna start with the Ascended Masters. So the first card is Quan Yin, and Quan Yin, most of you know, she is the Buddhist goddess of peace and compassion. And she was said to, when it was her time to leave the planet, she had the choice to move on, or she could stay and be a guide for humanity. And she chose to stay and guide humanity. And she's also the protector, I believe, of women and children. And she brings compassion to all people's hearts and minds who call upon her. Compassion and peace. So when Quan Yin comes to us, she brings forth that message, and also says to call upon her for that inner peace, whether it be in the heart, in the mind, in the consciousness, or just in the overall body, whether that's the physical body, the casual body, the etheric body. We have many different aspects of our body, our manifestation of spirit in the physical world. So calling upon her for that peace and to release that struggle that we may be experiencing. So I'll just kind of read you a little bit. It's time to stop struggling, pushing, or forcing things to happen. Such actions push against the universal flow and lead to frustrations and blocks. When you let the situation go to spirit, you're automatically opening supportive doors that will bring solutions and outcomes exceeding your expectations. Let go of struggle, anger, unforgiveness, or anything else undesirable. trust that the universe is on your side. So that's a nice like component to add to all this growth energy. You know, putting forth the inspiration and the intention and the energy, but also that not that push, like not pushing it into being, because we just have to let things grow in their own space. We can't, like, you know, it's like the whole idea of the butterfly, like trying to open the cocoon before the butterfly is ready, right? It won't be able to fly. Its wings will be ruined. So it's allowing things to develop and grow at their own pace, but always holding that sacred space, sacred safe space for those things to grow, and maintaining the vibration of what you desire for that optimum manifestation. That's so important. And then from the Thoth deck, the first card that we got is Judgment. In this deck, it's called the Aeon. And basically, when the Judgment card comes up, it's a time of renewal, rebirth, looking at our lives and seeing what it's time to let go of and what it's time to move forward with, to rise above and to let go into the dross. In this card, this Judgment card in the traditional tarot, you will see usually you know, somebody rising from the tomb, and that's symbolic of releasing just the excess weight, the excess energy, everything that doesn't serve us in a, you know, graceful way, and really allowing the purifying fires to help cleanse that. The way that I like to kind of see this card and work with it is with the violet flame. I love to use the violet flame of Saint Germain. And if those of you are not familiar with Saint Germain, look up Violet Flame Saint Germain. And there's different meditations and visualizations and what's the word? Chants? That's not really the word I'm looking for, but declarations like that you can say, and that really help with the purification and release of excess things in a harmonious and graceful way. So I definitely like to work with the Judgment card in that way. And also writing, I'm hearing writing down those things, like what we want to release gracefully, what we want to bring in and move into our life and this new pathway. And many of us are already starting these new pathways. We've already been going through the transmutation and transformation. It's the continuation of. And with this, we have the Queen of Swords. She's been coming up a lot. She came up in last week's reading. But basically, she's saying, stand in your power, stand in your sovereignty. You know what you need to let go of. You can cut it away in a graceful way. You can stand your ground. You can speak your truth. You can do all these things in a diplomatic, appropriate way. You may have to be a little detached at certain times, but to definitely know what you want and know where you're going. And at the same time, you have the King of Cups. So when the King of Cups comes up, it's also you're going for your heart's desires and you're moving towards, you know, that Grail, that's Grail. It's funny because I picked another card just today that said Holy Grail. And he is going for that cup, that Grail. So what is your Grail in life? Ultimately, I believe the Grail is like within. It's our higher consciousness and that feeling of it made manifest. And that's only something we can experience, you know, within ourselves when we connect with that higher creator in the most positive and equitable way. So what is that? How can you define that? How can you make it more tangible in your life? And then the Two of Swords was the last card, and really bringing peace to your mind, peace to your consciousness. You may be feeling like you have to move through two directions, but know that you can bring a peace to both directions. I'm hearing like diplomacy, and then being able to move forward in the best way possible. So again, take what, you know, speaks to you and leave what doesn't. I'm wishing you a wonderful weekend, and I look forward to seeing you in the shop.